Well, I thought we would try doing a little puzzle here this morning, a penguin puzzle. And the way this is going to work, it's a little bit sort of a different take on a puzzle. This is going to be a background for the puzzle. It's an outline of a rather rotund penguin. We're going to cut this out of a piece of MDF, a piece of scrap MDF that I have. And once that's done, then we're going to take the actual puzzle, probably cut it out of 1/4-inch plywood, maybe birch plywood, cut up all the pieces, and this outline figure of the penguin is a little bit smaller than the background, so it's going to be like an overlay of the backboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to drill holes in several of the pieces, which we'll call locking pieces, and put a little 1/4-inch dowel in each one, and we'll drill an equal hole in the back of the backboard so that those 5 pieces will set down. And then when you put the rest of the puzzle together, they'll all lock into place because of these side pieces. So you don't really have to worry about the whole thing wandering around the board. And you should have a nice looking little puzzle when we're done. So let's get to work. First of all, we'll cut out the backboard, and then we'll work on the puzzle itself. Alright, the penguin has been cut out. All we have to do now is hopefully and easily peel off the paper. I put masking tape down over it to make this peel off nice and easy, and it did come out pretty good. Alright, this is all a scrap piece of MDF that I had, and there were some holes in it, and did get one of them down here. That isn't going to matter too much because this is going to be just a backing board, and it's going to be covered by the actual puzzle itself. What you want to do now is take the puzzle and cut it out here. Cut this out. And we're going to get a piece of 1/4-inch birch ply, I think. Make it contrast with the MDF, if nothing else. And we'll cut this out. The actual puzzle is going to sit right on top here. You can't tell at this point, but this is a little bit smaller than the actual backing board, but it's going to fit right on top when it's done. Alright, I got this piece of 1/4-inch plywood, birch plywood, and put down my masking tape. And I glued up with a glue stick the back of the penguin part of the penguin puzzle part. See that? 5 times fast. And we're going to put that down on the green painter's tape. And what we're going to do now is cut out all these pieces, and then we'll drill the holes that we're going to need later for the actual dowels that we're going to put in here. Okay, so let's go cut this out on the scroll saw. great thing about cutting this puzzle out is that you don't have to have any entry holes. You just start cutting, and before you know it, you'll be all done. Here we go. Okay, we finished cutting out all the pieces of the puzzle now, and I kind of like cutting this puzzle. It's fairly easy because you don't have to worry about a lot of locks that are complicated to make. They're just little half circles, and they fit right into each other. You wouldn't normally use that kind of a lock on a puzzle because if you stand it up on end, it would all fall apart easily, plus it drifts away quite easily. But since we're going to do this on a backing board with a locking system on it, shouldn't be too bad at all. And okay, I think we've completed this. If you got young children playing with this, you might want to round over his beak a little bit to smooth it out and make it less sharp. But let's go take a look at the rest of this now. Okay, I cut out all of the pieces of the puzzle and reassembled it. I'm going to leave the paper on it for now because I want to find these guide holes here for the drilling. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole using these 1/4-inch dowel pieces. These are about 3/4 of an inch long. Okay, so what we're going to do is drill a hole in one of these, and then I'm going to put the dowel pin in to hold that in place while I do the others, so that it'll be pretty well situated before I glue these into the actual piece of wood. That'll help to hold it together while I'm doing this drilling, because I don't want it to be completely disoriented here. So let's go over to the drill press and work on this. Okay, I'm over at the drill press now, and what we want to do is drill out that hole. It's at the top penguin puzzle has been situated on the backboard exactly where I want it right now. And I want these peg holes to line up properly, so what I'm going to do is drill them right in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill this hole through. It's a 17/16, I believe, no, 17/64 drill bit. It's a 17/64 drill bit. I'm going to drill right down through the puzzle piece, down through the backboard, all the way through. Okay, so I think we're ready to do that. We'll hold it in place and start the drill. Okay, we've drilled that through. Now we don't want that to move, so what I'm going to do is take a one of these dowels pieces that I cut, And I'm going to run that down through both pieces. Okay, clean away that bit there. And we'll put this back in. I'm going to move it out of the way for the moment. And that puzzle piece will now stay right in the spot where I want it while I drill the other holes. So what we'll do is we'll go around the other side of our penguin friend here. And we'll press that over so that it's good and snug. And line up the hole with the next one. And we'll drill another hole. This is going to lock that row in pretty good. Okay, and we take another one of these dowel pieces, and we'll slide that in there as security. Alright, so those two are secured down very nicely. Now we'll do one of the bottom pieces. Let's line it up here. Okay, I think we're all lined up on that one, and we'll hit her again. Alright, take another dowel piece. I'll lock this in. Alright, that's pretty well locked our puzzle in place now. If I back off here, maybe you can see this. You can actually stand the puzzle up without it falling apart. Those pieces are being held in by the dowels, and the pressure put on the other pieces are holding them in place as well. Alright, our next step now is just peel off all this paper, the pattern, smooth out the dowel tops, and just give it a good sanding, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, we're going to take the puzzle apart now a little bit at a time, starting with these pieces with the little hook on them, the dowel. Take that out and peel off, and then we take a little bit of glue, like so, put it on the end of it. Just a little bit will do it, a little dab will do it, so to speak. And then we take the puzzle section. We want this to be on the top of the piece, so slide it down in there. Wipe up the glue a bit. And then we'll just put that aside for a little while and let it dry. We're going to do this with all the pieces. The middle ones, of course, we're just going to strip the paper off. But we want to let these little pieces dry, and then we're going to sand them down a little bit. And we'll be ready to put this thing together. Alright, I'm over at my table router right now. And what I've decided I'm going to do is go around the edges of the penguin, just to round them over. It's a little sharp on the edges here. Just to round it over all the way through, make it look a little neater. I'm going to do this both sides. We only really need to do it to one side, but the top. But I think I'll do it to both sides. It'll make it nice looking. So here we go. Okay, that looks kind of neat now. Edges are rounded over. I'm going to sand them down a little bit too to make them look a little better. But I think it'll be a nice effect when you put the top layer on it. Okay, let's go over to the sander and do some sanding. Okay, I'm over at my sanding mop now. We're going to take the edge of this thing and go all around the edges. Okay, that looks nice and smooth on the edges now. I did not round over the bottom of the penguin because I'm going to see if I can get it to stand up straight. I might want to use this as a stand-up puzzle after I get all the pieces on it. So I purposely left that flat, and we'll see how it goes. Now what I'd like to also do is get the little pieces. Okay, I've taken paper off all of these sections of the puzzle. And what we're going to do now is use the sanding mop to go over the edges and smooth everything out a little bit. So here we go. Okay, so all the pieces look a lot nicer when you do that along the edges. It smooths everything out, sort of rounds over the edges a little bit too. You can leave it like this, of course, or you can paint them. I'm going to leave it as a natural wood, but you could, of course, do more with it if you'd like. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and I'll see you back at the bench. We also want to do the pieces that are drying over there, too. Get this thing ready for final assembly. Okay, we're all set. We got all of the pieces cut out. We got them sanded down nice and smooth. We got our hefty little penguin in the middle here. We got our locking pieces all set. I think we're all set to see if we can put this together. This is the first time I've done this with you, so we'll see if it works. Not sure exactly what's going to happen here. I would first of all put in the locking pieces to see how they fit. This goes right in there very nicely. And rather than put all the locking pieces in first, I think what we'll do is start to assemble this in some fashion. Well, we can put this other locking piece in, I suppose. That's not the one though, right? Maybe it's this one. Okay, much better. Looks a lot better. Alright, now we need a little Dilbert looking one. Looks a little like Dilbert, I guess, doesn't it? Put him in there. Make sure the locking piece hits against it so it's firmly put in place. A couple more pieces to go here. Now we could put the... This one is easy. The head in there. Alright, and then this one looks like it would fit here. And our last piece should be pretty easy. It's right in there. Okay, we got it all together very nicely. Now, let's see if it's going to work as a stand-up puzzle. Those locks on the sides and the edges should keep this together very nicely. And it does. Okay. We have assembled our surface penguin puzzle. And it's a little bit different way of approaching a puzzle. I mean, puzzles are puzzles, but you can try something a little bit different every once in a while. I hope you'll give this a try. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked watching it, click the little like button down below. And if you think it's useful, you might also want to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If this is for your first time here, you'll be alerted as to when I come up with new ideas. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.